Hi, I'm Tyler McMurchie with SGI. I'm here with my good friend, Staff Sergeant Patrick Barber of the Saskatoon Police Service. We're in a park alongside a busy Saskatoon road. What are we doing here?
So we've got officers who've got a traffic project set up today, and they're trying to weed out some distracted drivers. So they're watching vehicles as they go by, and they're trying to see whether or not people are using their phones as they're driving.
And the reason we're doing this is because today we launched the October Traffic Safety Spotlight, which is on distracted driving. The point we're trying to make with this month's Traffic Spotlight is that distracted driving is actually one of the leading causes of injuries resulting from auto crashes on Saskatchewan roads. 1 in 5 auto crash injuries in Saskatchewan are caused by a collision in which distracted driving, driver distraction or inattention is a factor. And so we talk about distracted driving a lot because it's a pretty serious issue. Not only is it a leading cause of injuries, it's one of the leading causes of fatalities as well, an average of 26 fatalities per year in Saskatchewan. So let's talk about what your officers are looking for.
So as vehicles go by, they're looking into the vehicle, and we know what you're doing out there, Saskatchewan. We know you're hiding your phones from us while you're driving by. So most phones are going to be down by the center console, or they're going to be somehow trying to hide them from view. And there's also a public shaming component to that. I don't think people want other drivers to see them on the phone either.
Yeah.
So the officers behind us here, they're in a position of slight elevation over the traffic, gives them a bit of an advantage to be able to see that center console area, which they also get in traffic from being in an SUV or a higher vehicle next to that car. So they're looking for telltale signs, the head down, bobbing up and down because you're looking at the phone, looking at traffic, looking at the phone, and then of course the phone in the hand. And don't forget that just holding your phone on its own is an offense. So telling us that you're looking at the time or switching your music or whatever is not going to help your case. We don't want to see that phone in your hand at all.
Now, that's a really important point to make. In 2017, the start of 2017, the Traffic Safety Act was amended to state drivers can't hold, use, manipulate, or view a handheld electronic communications device. So even the act of holding it, and that's where a lot of these tickets are written, I'm presuming, is just drivers holding a phone in their hand. Now, as an experienced driver, you're allowed to mount that phone on your dash or on your visor.
For sure.
and use it hands-free or the one-touch option, voice activated. You can dictate a text, you can talk on speakerphone, you can listen to the GPS. You're not allowed to watch YouTube videos, you're not allowed to swipe through Tinder, you're not allowed to repeatedly manipulate that phone, but you can use it in that way. As an experienced driver, learners and novices, you can't do that whatsoever. But other than phones, there's other things that distract drivers as well. Let's just talk about that as well, because there's another law that pertains to that.
Yeah, so that law is driving without due care and attention.
Yeah.
So anything that takes your attention off the road and causes your driving behavior to diverge from what's normal. So you might be coming out of your lane or slowing down in traffic for no apparent reason or something like that. So, we've seen things like people writing on clipboards as they're driving. There's a lot of personal grooming going on that can become an issue. So applying makeup or shaving or something like that. These are things that take your eyes off the road. And when your eyes are off the road, it gets hard to go in a straight line, which makes it super dangerous out there. You also don't see cars in front of you that might be slowing down. We see a lot of rear end collisions that are caused by people doing things like that.
So it's it could be anything. It could be eating a bowl of cereal,
Sure.
Reading a newspaper, a book, writing a letter to somebody. It doesn't matter, those things. Now, again, there's no law that specifically prohibits you from doing that. You couldn't write a law that covers every possible distraction because somebody would find something else to be distracted by. So that's that driving without due care and attention, and that's something that the police have to articulate. I saw this person doing this and they were clearly distracted, and here's how that happened. Now, it's important to understand that the penalties for the cell phone law or the driving without due care and attention, the same very expensive ticket. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So it's a tiered penalty system. On the first offense, drivers are looking at a fine of $580 and 4 demerit points.
Yeah.
On a second offense within a 12-month period, we're now looking at $1,400, and then there's a 7-day impound that comes with that. So your car will be towed on the spot for a 7-day period, and you'll be responsible for those costs as well, and it comes with the 4 points. And on a third offense within that 12-month period,
You really don't want that one.
you don't want that. Well, I don't think you want the first one either.
yeah,
But the third one is $2,100, also comes with the impoundment, and the fees associated and the 4 points.
And so that's for either of those distracted driving offenses. And the reason that these penalties are so high is because, unfortunately, a lot of drivers do it. Again, it's one of the leading causes of collisions, one of the leading causes of injuries, and one of the leading causes of fatalities on our roads. And we really want people to think about the idea of that they can keep themselves and others safe. We've been talking a lot about that in Saskatchewan in various contexts over the past while here in Saskatchewan, and we want people to keep in mind they can prevent these injuries, they can prevent these fatalities from happening, and all they need to do is pay attention behind the road when they head out on the streets, on the highways, the grid roads in Saskatchewan. Think about keeping yourself safe, think about keeping other people safe. I want to thank Staff Sergeant Barber and thank his colleagues for the work that they're doing to prevent people from driving distracted and to catch people when they're doing it. It's going to be a focus of law enforcement throughout the province for the entire month of October with the Traffic Safety Spotlight. So keep that in mind and take care out there.